It is once again that time to begin a new season here in the Simulation Soccer League. As season 26 gets underway, it's time to once again answer the question of which team is the best in simulated soccer. Hello everyone, I am Metafiction, and we begin as always with the Major League Division 1 here on Matchday 1. Last season, Hollywood FC lifted the title. They'll be out to defend their title this season. They'll be opening play against Leafyside Celtic, who made their way back up from Division 2. But that'll be a little bit later as we start out, of course, with Reykjavik United against CF Catalunya. Reykjavik, flirting with relegation for long stretches of last season, were ultimately safe. Meanwhile, CF Catalunya, at one point, surprised title contenders, but did end up falling off just a bit toward the end. Both sides will want to make a strong start to this season for very different reasons. Reykjavik to prove that they are not relegation fodder, and Catalunya to prove that their title contention was no fluke last season. It's a very fitting opening match here in Season 26. We are underway here at Lake Valerin in Reykjavik, Iceland. As Shaheen takes that shot, and it's tipped behind for the first corner of the day. Skavgard to deliver it. Watch out for Rashford and Quartista on the edge of the box. It's sent into the 6-yard box. Fakoko heading it away. Derbatov. And Salaka there to put the challenge in. Thought there might be a penalty shout, but it was a clean challenge from Salaka. Another corner, this time from the opposite side. Skavgard again delivers. Pruskin heads down to Quartista, but that shot blocked immediately. Rashford, blocked by Fakoko. And it falls to Fakoko, who's able to send it clear. But Reykjavik still with the pressure. They've seized the front foot here early on. But here is a corner for Catalunya. Dejiron out to Fakoko on the edge of the area. Pass it to Salaka. Salaka takes the shot, and Chicken palms it over. Another chance for Dejiron from the corner, this time floating it into the 6-yard box. Metidiero heading it out of danger. And as I said, both these teams trending in opposite directions as Kawasaki's shot pings off of several defenders. Bielzabat caught offside, so that attack for Catalunya will come to nothing. But both these teams trending in opposite directions as of last season. Reykjavik, once one of the most dominant teams in the SSL, have fallen on harder times over the last few seasons. They'll be eager to try and get back to the top of the division, which is where they're used to being. Meanwhile, Catalunya were the dregs of the league for the longest time, but ever since the switch to promotion relegation have found new life as Fry loses out to Metidiero for a corner kick. El Segadores will be eager to try and get something on the board here against Reykjavik. Dejiron. Let's get around Shaheen, who puts it behind again for a corner. As we pass the 20-minute mark, Dejiron once again sending it out to Fakoko, who curls it off the post. That was so close to going in from a long way out. Now Quartista trying to break for Reykjavik, but Salazar puts the challenge in. And that is going to be a free kick. Now Skavgard with the corner for Reykjavik. Chambers with the overhead kick, and that's just over the bar. That would have been phenomenal if it had gone in. This gameplay is more or less a symbol of the times, an added emphasis, of course, on set pieces. Both teams know the importance of having a corner routine, as here comes Salaka. Back to Fry, trying to pass to Jenkins, but Shaheen there to intercept. Now DeJeron. Cross in, Bonito heads it right at Fiery Chicken. Halftime approaches, neither side having a clear advantage. Although another corner here. Skovgaard sending it once again into the 6-yard box, up into the air, and Chambers again trying the overhead kick. Once again missing. Well, I don't know what Charlie Chambers had for breakfast, but he is clearly intent on getting that overhead kick. More power to him, I suppose, but in the meantime, ball finds its way to Chambers. Pass back to Chicken, who sends it long. Fakoko gets onto the end of it, but it cannons off the back heel of Bonito. It's a bit of an unforced error there for Catalunya. They do have a corner as we enter 2 minutes of added time here. Fakoko takes the shot, and Chicken again able to get over. And it looks like that will be called an offside against Catalunya. So that chance comes to nothing, and that will be the state of affairs at the half. Reykjavik and Catalunya 0-0. Both teams putting in some solid chances, but neither one really able to find that cutting edge so far. Some great goaltending performances, or at least one by Fiery Chicken, it has to be said. Meanwhile, Catalunya's defense able to keep Reykjavik from bringing to bear any of those powerful attackers that they have. Make no mistake, both of these teams with plenty of firepower, they just haven't been able to find the right chances yet. 45 minutes remain to see if that will change. That pass from Bot poor, and Derbatov intercepts, but Fry able to put it out into touch. Kawasaki taking the free kick all the way back to Slothenberg. Here's Fry. Salazar over the top for Bonito, in space. Bonito takes the shot. Goga Bonito with the first goal of season 26 and the first goal for Catalunya in this match. Well, that one developed very quickly from Catalunya's own half. Salazar with the one-timer over the back line. Bonito brings it into control well and just absolutely levels it past Chicken. And Catalunya pressing their advantage. Here's a corner. Fakoko from the edge of the area finds Salaka, but that shot blocked well by Derbatov. Now Ahmed, and that will fizzle out. Catalunya now seem to be taking control of this match, having got the goal that they will feel they've deserved. Wakoko intercepting that free kick, but Bonito can't keep it under control. Now a potential break here for Reykjavik. Rashford cuts inside, takes the shot, and that just can't get inside the post. It was a great move right up until that strike. Just didn't have enough bend on it. Was trying to get it around the keeper. An admirable effort, but ultimately coming to nothing. Less than 10 minutes to Catalunya still holding on to their 1-0 lead. Good value for it, you have to think. Kawasaki. Work offline. Potential counter here for Reykjavik, but Jenkins with a good recovery tackle. Banana, though, nearly nicking the ball off of Bot there. That could have been a huge moment, as it is Kawasaki able to keep it away from Quartista, who was lurking. That pass, though, offline, and Pruni finds Derbatov. Fry in pursuit. Derbatov, edge of the box. Just about keeps it in, but Fry sends it the other way. Pruni again, though, taking the ball off of Silaka. Now Reykjavik have possession, trying to manufacture an equalizer here. Rashford the third puts the cross in, trying to find Banana, and that's behind for a corner. Skavgard will send it in once again. Out to Rashford on the edge of the area. Back to Skavgard. And Bonito does well to snuff that out. Reykjavik pushing once more in the latter stages here. Bruni finding Rashford. Tries the low cross, and Slothenberg able to keep that off of the foot of Zaza Banana. Holding on to the ball for quite a long time, it has to be said. Both Quartista and Banana lurking. But Slothenberg does get it out of there. Now it's back to the other keeper, Chicken. Now Chambers. Mitadiero. Over the top, trying to find Shaheen, who will get onto the end of this. Potential threat here, but that block on the cross by Jenkins. Skavgard, and again the blocked cross. Fry this time. Rashford heads it, trying to loop it over Slothenberg, but nothing doing. 4 minutes of added time, passing very quickly here. Reykjavik looking like they won't have time to mount any up good, solid win for Catalonia on match day 1. Shoga Bonito with your goal is the player of the match. And a great performance all around, especially that Catalonia back line, who were under a lot of pressure at several different points. But a resolute 1-0 win sees Catalonia taking the 3 points. Next up, we have the defending champions Hollywood FC beginning their title defense against Leafy side Celtic. Celtic, of course, one of the better teams in last season's Division 2, and have in the end earned promotion to Division 1. Probably couldn't have asked for a harder match day 1 opponent, though, as of course Hollywood were able to stave off the challenge from Sao Paulo to claim the SSL Major League title. This will be a very intriguing clash, and perhaps a good litmus test for Celtic as of where they are as an organization at this moment. It's a 4-2-3-1 for Hollywood and a 4-2-3-1 for Celtic. We are underway here at the pitch. Not much to report from the early goings. Neither side really with any major chances, really any chances. Only one shot on target between the two sides so far. Mograine for Hollywood on the throw-in. Calderon. Getting around Dybala, puts the cross in, and that's a charging header from Dobra. Snorlax just about able to tip it behind, but it will be a corner for Takahashi, but Takahashi too fast. That cross, Adu nearly finishing past Lax, but again a good save. Peixoto from the near post. The corner goes behind, and it's a goal kick. After a bit of a slow start for both teams, things seem to be kicking into gear as Hollywood find themselves with a sustained set of chances. Dia. Calderon. Trying to get around Dybala and does put the cross in, and that's headed in by Juozas Kupinic. And Hollywood FC beginning their title defense in style. Calderon did well to get that cross in. There was a lot of people in that box, but Kupinic able to rise above Nosworthy and Superhoops to head that past Lax in goal. And the reigning Division 1 champs, eager to start their season from where they picked up where they left off. Apologies, it's been a while. I'm a little rusty. Peixoto to the near post. And Dobra having to recycle that. And so at the half, that goal from Kupinic is the difference as Hollywood lead 1-0 over Leafyside Celtic. Celtic again winning Division 2 last season. Will they find themselves out of their depth in the same way that got them relegated a couple seasons ago? Time will tell. They're not being completely outclassed by Hollywood, but they've not been able to offer much coming forward. They've got 45 minutes to try and make up for it, but Hollywood coming forward again immediately, and Lax punching that away. A very daring save. Wasn't punished for it, though. Hendry losing out on the ball and Hollywood pouncing. Here's Dobra, but Nosworthy capitalizing on the loose touch. Dobra, though, wins it back. Hollywood still on the attack. Mograine, and it's back into Kupinic again. And if there was any doubt in the first half about whether Hollywood would be at the races here on Matchday 1, those doubts, I believe, have been well and truly banished. Kupinic did well to get into the right place behind the defensive line. Let's look at it again. And that could be a little controversial. There's a question of offside. VAR didn't look at it. You see, there might have been case to disallow that one, but it will stand, and so it is 2-0 to Hollywood. Ali Dia, one of the longtime fixtures of this Hollywood team, announcing that he will retire at the end of this season, so Hollywood surely hoping to get one more title as that kick saved by Lax. And Dobra is offside. Kalinins takes the shot and Jones holds on. Nosworthy sending it all the way back to Lax in goal. Dybala through to Hughes Galloway. Hughes Galloway with a good chance. Near post, blocked by Jones. And Hollywood just about able to get that clear, but that's the first really good chance that Celtic have had. Hollywood with another corner here as we near the 60-minute mark. And it's headed away. Dobra gets to it. Mograine. Back to Peixoto, and that goes just wide, courtesy of Lax. Peixoto delivering the corner, but once again rebuffed. And Lax holding on to it that time. Free kick for Celtic, sees ball, back to McTendy. And again. Ball over the top, finding Miedema. Miedema winning the ball away, and Orla Hughes-Galloway capitalizes. And is this the start of a comeback? Is this the start of a really good result for Celtic? There was the goalkeeper, Jones, coming out, trying to slide tackle the ball off of Miedema, but that just put it in the way of Hughes-Galloway, who had more or less an open look at goal. And of course, presented with a chance like that, Orla Hughes-Galloway is not going to miss. Calderon nearly didn't miss. Lax, though, able to tip it over. Mograine now with the corner kick, but that's sent away. Dobra gets to it, pursued by Dybala. Hefeweizen passes it back. And now a corner kick for Celtic with a chance to tie. And it's headed away. Ball still with it. Takahashi. Hendry sends that well over. Calderon for Hollywood. Ball falls to Mograine, but that shot right into a defender. Dia. Skavgard to Moff. Moff with the header. Skims the top of the net. Well, apart from that one goal from Celtic, this match has been more or less dominated by Hollywood from the start. Certainly worthy title holders, and will be looking for another one. And well, a valiant defensive effort by Celtic as that ball headed well over for a goal kick. A good defensive effort by Celtic, but we're never really able to get a sustained attack going, as here's Dybala with a corner. Headed up near post, Nosworthy gets to it. Dybala puts the cross in. Hendry won't get there, though. Nosworthy back to Super Hoops, trying to find that way through this Hollywood defense. Here's Hendry putting a deep cross in, but Calderon heads it on. Dybala, though. Ball in the box, finds Super Hoops, and that's deflected behind. And this is the best sequence Celtic have had. This match might not be over just yet, as here's Dybala with another corner. And Nosworthy just heads it over. Three minutes of added time as Celtic have one more corner, perhaps their last. Dybala sends it near post, and Nosworthy again just can't get it on target. And that might be it, as here's a corner for Hollywood with less than 30 seconds to go. Mograine in no rush, sends it near post, that's headed away. Mograine to the end line, back into Dia, Peixoto, and that's another corner kick. And time is likely to expire. And Mograine will not get to take the corner kick as the referee blows for full time here in Hollywood. And Hollywood FC victorious 2-1 in a match that they never really lost control of over Liffey-side Celtic. Jozef Kupinic with a brace is your player of the match. A great performance all around by that Hollywood attack, keeping on the gas. And again, a valiant effort defensively from Celtic. But apart from the one goal from Orly Hughes Galloway, never really got anything going. It's not an ideal start to their attempt at survival, but still plenty of soccer left to play this season. Anything can happen here in the SSL, so you never know. But for the moment, Hollywood 2, Liffey-side Celtic 1. Now we move on to our final match of the day, at least in Division 1, as União São Paulo take on CD Tenochtitlan. São Paulo, one of the title contenders last season, still fighting for league titles, still one of the main contenders in this division. Their window's still open at the moment. They'll be taking on the team that won the relegation playoff last season, consigning Jalahou Cosmico to Division 2, and in exchange, Tenochtitlan gaining entry, or at least return, to Division 1. It's a stiff test for the team that finished second in Division 2 last season, but they'll believe they're up for it. Here's a look at the Sao Paulo lineup, that 3-4-3 that they've become so famous for. Tenochtitlan with a 3-4-1-2 formation. Both teams using a 3 at the back setup. And in a league and a division that is so married to the 4-2-3-1, both these teams trying to shake things up just a little bit. I'll have to see how it goes today. Will the width of Sao Paulo overcome the narrowness of Tenochtitlan? Time will tell. But we are underway here in Brazil. Cotswold to Mulder. Mulder taking that shot, and that's behind for a goal kick. Gaetano winning the ball away from Dunkler Sowerwine. But Tenochtitlan still under the press of Sao Paulo. So dangerous, and they've won the ball. De Groot, and that's right at Asprey. De Groot sending in the corner, and Asprey able to hold on. And that is one of the dangers of this Sao Paulo team. They press so high up the pitch and force mistakes like that. And on another day, that could have been 1-0. Corner now for Tenochtitlan. Here is Elliott. Near post. Hashimoto able to head away. Pinkman, though, getting onto it. Caetano. Forced back. Asprey coming out to take control of it. Now here is Al-Kazmi, but that cross offline. Cancelo. Cotswold now. Here's Aoi. Good passing here from Sao Paulo as it's through to Rubio. Julian Rubio skids it past Asprey for the 1-0. Well, this is just great passing play on display here for USP. And Rubio, once again, in space, always a threat. Just a great finish there by Rubio. Now Louise with the free kick from the side. That's up to Sowerwine. De Groot takes the shot, blocked, and Slabhead puts it back. Well, it looked like this one was a done deal after that free kick came to nothing, but Sowerwine found De Groot, who took the shot and had able to get onto the end of the deflection and fire it past the keeper. And so just like that, União São Paulo up 2-0. That's a rough welcome back for Tenochtitlan into Division 1. There's Tut and Asprey. Backline passing it amongst each other. It's a dangerous proposition against this USP squad. There you see Julian Rubio trying to close down the keeper. Does force the long ball, and now Sao Paulo come forward. Or at least they were coming forward. Cancelo with the long ball up the middle. Sowerwine finds Rubio, and a good challenge from Pinkman, but Sowerwine still with it, and that's a corner kick. Cotswold finds Mulder on the edge of the area. Cotswold again, but nearly loses out to Caetano. Blood flame now for Tenochtitlan, but that's taken away. Cotswold losing out to El Kazmi. De Groot with a corner kick. Sowerwine back to De Groot. And that one took a wicked deflection, but that will be behind for a corner, or a goal kick, excuse me. To Sowerwine. Now here's Hashimoto. De Groot. Back out to Hashimoto, who takes the shot, and that's deflected by Dunkler Sowerwine. And Sao Paulo with a commanding 3-0 lead just after the half-hour mark. Hashimoto took the shot. It looked like it deflected off of De Silva potentially, but Sowerwine there to capitalize on it. And so União São Paulo taking a 3-goal lead before the half. Tenochtitlan now with a huge hole to climb out of. As Rubio taking the shot from distance, it's off the crossbar. Can you imagine if that one had gone in? My goodness, it was an ambitious shot from Rubio, but to be fair, if you back anybody to make that shot, it would be Rubio, as that shot from Elliott just off the post. Elliott's head in his hands. He knows he should have scored that. Sowerwine can't chase down De Silva, and that shot will result in a free kick as Luiz Jr. is down here for Sao Paulo. Roger shown the yellow card for that challenge. And a chance for Tenochtitlan wasted. Blood flame. Carrying the ball through midfield. Here's De Silva. And that shot from Roger just past the post because of a deflection from Luiz Jr. And so a corner kick here. Elliott near post. Calls the blood flame. Elliott can't keep it under control, and that is going to be out for a throw. Two minutes of added time have elapsed, but the referee allowing play to continue. Tut to De Silva. Takes the shot, and that's into the side netting. And that will be it for the first half. Sao Paulo with a commanding 3-0 lead over CD Tenochtitlan. In firm control of this one are USP. 6 shots on target to just the one for CDT. And Sao Paulo having a good day at the office. Possibly one of the scariest teams in the entire SSL. União São Paulo showing intent to chase down that title. It is a far cry from that team that not that long ago won a single game across 3 seasons. They have done a remarkable job in turning this organization around. And today they are absolutely on fire. It's a free kick, but ultimately nothing doing for CDT. Tut, forced back to Itar. De Silva forced back by Hashimoto, and again back to Asprey. Tenochtitlan finding no attacking purchase at the moment. Trying to get that ball through the midfield, but having little luck. Now here's Roger, potentially with an opportunity here. Through to Bloodflame. Bloodflame takes the shot. And Tenochtitlan have one back just inside the second half. Well, it took some doing, but they did finally find that line through the midfield. Bloodflame timing that run perfectly. Just played onside by Luis Jr. And that's from... There you see Bloodflame well onside. And so the score now 3-1. And do Tenochtitlan have a comeback in them? Peixoto, back to Cancelo. Head carries it past Patterson. De Groot, but Elliott sending that away. Pinkman under pressure from Rubio does find their keeper Asprey. Caetano. Long ball through the middle. Roger finding De Silva. De Silva puts the cross in. Patterson's there, but the header a little too much air under it. Cancelo able to bring it under control. Tut taking the touch and turning, but losing out in the box. Itar there to mop up the clearance. De Silva trying again. Here's Al-Kazmi. And once again, Tenochtitlan forced back, trying to find that way through the Sao Paulo defense and can't do it. Roger trying to find De Silva again on that wing, but Hashimoto there to intercept. And now on the break, here's Mulder. Mulder taking the shot, and that skims over. Less than 30 minutes to play, and here is a deep throw for Tenochtitlan. De Silva. 1-2 with Bloodflame, and Caetano takes the shot, and that's blocked and sent away. Tenochtitlan have woken up in this second half, but will it be enough? Caetano. Now Pinkman. Back to Caetano, taking the shot, and that's a little ambitious, perhaps too much so. And that is going to be a huge blow to Tenochtitlan's efforts to come back. Sandro Silva, forced off due to injury, will not play the rest of this match. Should be okay by next match, but that is a huge blow for Tenochtitlan today. Less than 10 minutes to go now. And it's a throw-in for Sao Paulo deep in the attacking third. Hashimoto. Now Mulder on the edge of the area takes the shot. A good save from James Asprey. But Sao Paulo regaining control of this match. Mulder with a shot, and that one would have tucked into the upper right corner, if not again for Asprey. super sub finds Bloodflame, and that's over the bar. There'll be 4 minutes of added time as CD Tenochtitlan, it looked like, had a chance to try and come back from this, had dominated Sao Paulo early in the second half, but losing to Silva perhaps taking a lot of the fire out of their attack. And USP once again seizing control in the latter stages. Roger, though, finding Elliott. One more break perhaps for Tenochtitlan. Might not affect the outcome, but will affect pride as that header from Patterson goes high. Peixoto carrying it forward for Sao Paulo as time just about to expire here. Sowerwine puts the cross in. Elliott heads away, and that is it. Sao Paulo had control for most of that match. 3 goals in the first half were enough to see them claim the victory. Tenochtitlan fought back in a spirited fashion early in the second half, but were unable to come back. Sowerwine is your player of the match with a goal and an assist. Sao Paulo, largely the dominant team, did have moments of shakiness. That goal from Bloodflame, the only consolation for Tenochtitlan on this day. You have to think losing Sandro da Silva roughly 2/3 through this match, putting a huge damper on Tenochtitlan's comeback efforts. But it will be 3-1 the final from Sao Paulo, and that will do it for match day 1 here in Division 1. We saw earlier Catalonia with a 1-0 win over Reykjavik, Hollywood winning 2-1 over Leafyside Celtic, and of course we just witnessed USP with a 3-1 win over Tenochtitlan. So all 3 of the title contenders from last season winning their first matches, but once again, plenty of soccer left to be played. It is anybody's guess how this season will play out. Will Hollywood repeat? Will Sao Paulo reclaim their throne? Will Catalonia manage to beat both of them? Or will one of the teams that lost today, Reykjavik, Celtic, or Tenochtitlan, turn it around and charge up the table? It'll be a gripping season, no doubt, as it always is. Thank you so much for joining us here on Match Day 1 in Division 1 of the Majors. Until next time, this is Metafiction. Take care.